Folks, welcome to FiddleHed Fiddle Lessons. How do you play the fiddle in tune? Well, there's a lot of things that could help you, in addition to just simply playing a lot, learning how it sounds. And so this lesson is a part of a whole series that I've created on how to play in tune. And this is just going to be like a little micro lesson on tuning with resonance. So learning to hear what notes sort of resonate open strings. And so the best one to start with is just D3, which is G. And so if you play that really well in tune, you will hear a ringing sound. And if it goes out of tune, like say it's sharp, you can notice that there's less ring. And if I bring it back in tune, it rings longer and louder and stronger. And so what's happening is the energy from when I play D3 is causing open G to vibrate. And I'm not sure you'll be able to see it, but if I play it, my G string, if I'm playing D3, my G string is actually moving. I think you can see it. And that's a physics thing which I will attempt to explain, but basically it's a principle called resonance. And when the waves perfectly match up, even though it's twice the frequency on D3 as open G, then if it's perfectly matched up, then that energy will transfer to the open G, alright? So, sorry, I could have put a lot more thought into that explanation, but that's roughly it. Physics for fiddlers, there you go. But you don't need to know the physics necessarily, but it's kind of cool. And it's kind of cool to see just how music relates to everything, right? So you can use this as a way to tune D3, which is for beginners often very hard. And so now you have something to help you. And then if you kind of train your ear to look for it, then you'll naturally your fingers will naturally sort of gravitate towards the right position, in time. Because they'll be working with your ear in a partnership to find the right note. So, but maybe you're having trouble hearing the resonance and getting that going. So there's other ways you can use this principle to improve the tuning on your third finger. And one is to just alternate. So if I bring the D3 out of tune, you can hear that, right? I'll put it in tune. Now it's sharp. Now it's in tune, alright? And then, so that's a great thing you can do to tune the third finger. And then also, if you've been doing double stops, you can try to do a double stop. So play both strings at the same time. Find with tuning is that when you start to get it and you start to hear how it should be, and then when things actually come into tune, it's very satisfying. So if you have something out of tune, maybe even purposely you play it out of tune, and then it comes into tune. How nice. In fact, that's the basis for a lot of music in general. For what keeps it interesting is the tension between dissonance that gets resolved into consonants. And that's why certain slides in fiddle music sound good, because you have this very tense and then it gets resolved. So you can practice that. D3 will ring open G, A3 is D, and it will ring open D. You can see that move. And E3 will ring open A. A little harder to see that move. I can't explain the physics other than there's less energy being transferred from the E string than from the D string. So those three notes are a great test for your third finger. There's no test for G3 because we don't have a C string, right? But on the G string, if you play G1 it will resonate open A. And you can, again, I can see it move on my fiddle. I don't know if you can, but... So G1 is really moving, the G string is really moving, but the A is moving, and I'm also hearing a little bit of the E string. So all those are getting excited by that note that's in tune. Alright, and then a similar you could do would be D1. And I can kind of hear the open E ring. There. Can you hear it? Anyway, so, and then those two notes, the G1 and D1, can be practiced with alternation as well. That's out. The same thing with D1. Alright, so those are the main things you can use. It's just basically a tuning check. But it's nice. It's better than using, like looking at an electronic tuner. Now that's helpful if you're really stuck and you're really frustrated. Go ahead and do that. But with this method, you're really just relying on your ear a lot more. You're not relying on that computer. You know, you're not relying on tape. You're not relying on a computer app like Antonia. You're not, you know, and all these things can be helpful if you're very frustrated. But ultimately, you want to get your ear directly involved, and that's what's going to really make you play better in tune. Cool! Thank you for watching. I really hope this was helpful. And for those of you who just want tune lessons, thanks for your patience. I have more of those on the way soon, I promise. Okay, so long.
Go to FiddleHed.com for a progressive, step-by-step course outline, color-coded tabs, play-along tracks, sheet music, and much more.
Thanks for watching the video. Excellent!
And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.